What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Uh-oh, I hear a suicider ticking away somewhere.
Your ears play tricks on me again.
That's right. You just sit over there and play with your little mini nuke, and I'll be over here minding my own business. All right, I'm in front of the BAD-TFL office. I think the Bureau of Alcohol, Drugs, Tobacco, Firearms, Lasers, whatever else they were regulating back then. Kind of a knockoff of the ATF, I think. But, I've had this on my map forever. I think it has to do with the whole Eddie Winter holotapes that I've been finding. Something having to do with that. Anyway, that's just me shooting you in your face. I've actually run by this place a couple times. That's how we discovered it, doing other things. This time I spawned here because where I'm actually headed is down the road. I'm going to go check on one of the safe houses for the railroad. But I didn't want to spawn at Bunker Hill, which is literally behind me, just behind me, because there's like a main railroad story quest taking place there, and I didn't want to trigger it for a reason, actually. I have a suspicion. I'll go ahead and say this because this is what I see. Having honest here, I'm not lying. I have no idea how this is going to play out. I have no idea. No, not even a spoiler hint, nothing how this might play out. But I do have a suspicion of how things might be going and how my character plays a part in that, willingly or unwillingly. All right. Two things going on right now so far with the railroad, who I've pretty much sided with for reasons I've stated before. We can get into that also later, maybe. But two things going on. One is that we've got a password now, so we can get into the Institute and give Patriot, or Liam, guy down there who's been helping the synths get out one at a time here and there. Got a password to help him go in there and loosen up the security nets to let out a bunch of synths at once. Well, Desdemona's big plan is to let all the synths out. Anyone who wants a fighting chance, it's either now or never, right? Pick up your gun and get out. Either better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Isn't that what that dude from the 300 said? Anyway, and that's definitely applies. So at least give them a fighting chance to get out and help them escape. And I totally agree with that. Actually, it's perfectly logical. And you know, because all right, if they're trickling out one at a time, if you don't do this, all right, they're eventually going to catch this dude and shut it down anyway. You know that they know this dude's been doing this all along regardless. As soon as the synth started missing, they went and tracked it down and found out, and they're going to use him as a valve to find out where he's feeding these synths to, right? How do you think they tracked down the railroad in the first place? Possibly even feeding the railroad some synths that weren't trying to escape, some synths that were actually working as moles for the Institute. It's impossible that they haven't done that. If they haven't, then that's just an oversight in writing. That has to be taking place. Another mechanic which I see most likely in place, I can't believe it's not, is that Sean, being the complete deviant that he is, totally heartless, totally not just misguided, but just bad, just evil, just bad. Because I see the institute is an extension of his leadership and all that they do, and we've seen behind the scenes what they've done. We've seen things that even the Institute, with all of their knowledge, doesn't know that we've seen, like into the memories of Kellogg himself. We saw how he got recruited. Sure enough, supposedly, according to Sean, whether he's telling the truth or not, I don't know, but that Kellogg was around before Sean was. And Kellogg, evidence shows that he was probably pretty old. Maybe even as old almost as our character, right? Or close to it. But regardless, not only does Sean not cut him loose, but he says, well, I kind of regret what we had to do with Sean. No. I saw the operations even being committed right now by the Institute. The search and destroy, the kill, by all means necessary, even being worse than the Brotherhood, trying to trace down their own tech. Sound familiar? Like the Brotherhood on steroids, on top of all the other rotten shit that the Institute's doing? Trying to replace living things with their science, calling it living things until they actually have to be accountable for these things being living things, considering the fact that they psychologically and physically torture them, right? And then, oh, well, no, they're just machines. Okay, well, if they're just machines, then you failed in your quest. Oh, no, they're even better than humanity. Oh, they're even more than lifelike. They're more humans than human. Okay, so they're humans. No, they're just machines. You see? It's all very, very convenient, and what it really boils down to is them having to face with their own conscience and pay the piper one day is the fact that the same science that caused all this is certainly not going to fix it. You can't fix something by doing more of what caused it in the first place. They'll never learn that lesson. It's part of human nature to not ever learn that lesson ever. Anyway, so get all off into that. ideology and stuff. Two things going. Okay, so you got a plan to go basically get all the synths out that we can at once. Because like I say, what we don't get out, like I said, the nets are going to tighten so much we probably won't see any more synths after that, unless you shut down the institute, and then they'll just stop making synths altogether, right? And then the other thing is what Sean has us doing, and this is where I have a sneaky suspicion that our character is unwillingly going to be the worst thing that could happen to the railroad. This is what I think, right? He wants us to go into Bunker Hill and get one of our key agents and some of our synths to retrieve their quote-unquote property, right? Which, in and of itself, once again, is a blaring example of what Sean is. Whether he's a synth or human, son, father, / Sean / whatever he is, bottom line, he's just a piece of crap. Okay, so he wants to use us to go in there and gather an agent, gather one of the railroad's agents and some of their escape property synths, right? And then what Desdemona planned, which this makes sense, you got to take advantage of this opportunity, is to do a counter ambush, get them all out in the open and hit them hard, and don't let there be any survivors. That makes sense. I cannot believe that the Institute didn't hear every word she said as she said it and have a counter plan. A counter ambush, right? Bring some people in there, let the railroad expose themselves all in one place, gathering every single agent they've got, and then do a counter ambush and wipe them out all at once. Because see, what I think is Sean ordered the destruction of the entire railroad, so I think they hit him at the switchboard and at every known safe house that they had, with the exception of just a couple, right? Some that were kind of off the grid, like High Rise over there in Ticonderoga. And apparently it's possible, because we have a little side quest for that too, is that the Institute knows about that also, right? And so it's impossible that there's not moles in the railroad. I can't believe not a single one of those quote-unquote escaped synths wasn't an actual programmed Institute mole made to act human, you know, or whatever, made to act like a synth wanting its freedom or something, right? But then that this chip that they put in my character's Pip-Boy isn't not just a way to get in and out of the Institute at will, which that free will is, like one of those scientists there said, very curious. They trust you with the run of the place as soon as you show up, just because you're the mother that we actually tried to kill with Kellogg, but since that didn't work, we're going with Plan B. Seriously? Okay, so I know for the story's sake, my character has come across as a completely naive, ignorant, IQ of 2 tool, right? But I can even see that whatever they put in my Pip-Boy is the best bug you could ever hope to plant in the railroad, seeing as I must be one of their chief agents to have infiltrated the Institute in the first place. My whole motives for doing that weren't going to be denied, was to find my child, right? And I find out my child is the monster that's been running this in the first place. So Sean's going to play, this is what a monster he is, he's going to play off my inability to acknowledge the fact that my son is an absolute complete monster. He's 101% evil. He's rotten. And so what I think he's using, I think he's using this whole Bunker Hill thing as a setup to wipe out the railroad. And I think in Desdemona's mind, what Desdemona thinks she's going to be doing is actually what I believe the Institute has planned all along. I don't know how close we are to the end of the story, or to some huge turning point where, you know, things, you know, all hell really just breaks loose, it all hits the fan at once type thing. But this is how I see that playing out. I may be totally wrong. Like I say, I have no idea. I don't even have a spoiler hint as to what might happen, but that's how I see it kind of playing out here. And it's all a lot of plot twists, and it's all very sneaky, and it's really juicy gossip type stuff. You know, it's awesome, but kind of sucks that my character has to be the unwitting bad guy kind of in this. Not by any motives of ours. Now I'm going to do everything I can to side with the railroad. I was going to get into that a little bit too, of the railroad in and of itself, of the factions here. The Minutemen are pretty much what you see is what you get. I mean, they're it's really just about of the people for the people type of thing. But there really is no governing body yet.
Hey.
It's just a matter of, damn, can we keep the Raiders off our back long enough to grow some carrots and just not die today? That's really about it, right? And, you know, we can all respect that, right? Just getting by from day to day. Now, the Brotherhood of their gun control on steroids mentality, they're so misguided that even if there are some people amongst them with goodwill, They're so misguided that that can't end well. I am not one of those that took some kind of exception or anything to the way they came in. Like they came in, don't worry, we come to put an end to this. For all they know, their scouting missions, every single one that they sent in, met with hostility that had nothing to do with whether they were getting tech or not. The fact is, as soon as they stepped across the border, they got attacked by everything that moved, right? And I can relate to that. Shit, you step out of the vault, man, every fly, every grasshopper, every mole rat, every dog but one, right? And anything else that moves wants to kill you, right? I mean, I can totally relate to that. Sure. And so they realize that not only is this the most hostile environment in the whole universe, right? But then on top of that, you've got the Institute rearing its ugly head, and they found evidence of that. Apparently, they were able to analyze from the signals and stuff. Once Scribe Halen could get what she'd found off to them, they could take some better equipment and analyze it and figure out that there's some strange energy readings that have to do with tech that is not your run-of-the-mill stuff. These aren't just laser and plasma rifles going off somewhere. You got some, and what you find out is this teleports going on and stuff. And they may not have known that. They may have, may not have. I don't know. But the bottom line is it drew them here, knowing that
Yes.
you know, the shadowy organization of the Institute is involved. But what they'll do is they will kill all the synths, or take them, and what's even worse, take those synths and perform experiments on them. Even worse, because where the Institute in the back of their minds knows that the synths are human, right, but treats them as they're not, the Brotherhood won't even give them that benefit of the doubt. So they'll be exceptionally cruel. They'll rip them apart limb by limb just to see where the servos are. And the whole while, these synths are able to feel pain, and they're able to experience terror and horror and fear and all the worst things that a person can experience, and they're going to get that. And you know, they didn't ask to be created, right? And they didn't ask to be brought into this, and because of the ignorance of others, they're going to suffer that fate. We Are Done was the name of that holotape. Remember that? We need to listen to that later. I'll try to remember to do that. If not, we'll get around to it. Maybe it sums up this whole Eddie Winters story, or maybe it leads to some new place. Anyway, who knows?
Nice.
But anyway, so the synths are going to even get done even worse at their hands if they're not just outright destroyed. And I'm totally down with this, as I've pretty much set my mind to some simple basic things, and this is what I'm going to operate my judgments and my decisions off in this game, is that synths are human for this reason and reason only, is that this is not the real world, this is the Fallout 3 universe. And in the Fallout 3 universe, the scientists have found a way to transfer a human in his entirety to a computer chip, where the computer chip acts as a brain, to where that soul can reside, and it can dream and think and love and hate and like and dislike and feel and disregard, and it can do all the things that people can do, because it's a person in there. Okay, so it's a mechanical shell instead of a flesh and blood one. I'll tell you what, it's no more or less temporary than this flesh and blood body we have. We're all guaranteed to die too, right? In fact, the synths will probably live longer. You know, look at Nick. So anyway, looking at that, I've decided on that, and that being the case, that these people, whether they should be or not, is irrelevant, because they are. You shouldn't exist. Nobody wants to hear that. Not a real person, and not a synth either, right? They're not an abomination. They are what they are. They are as they were made. Born? No. Made? Born in a sense, kind of, from that little bubbling blood pool that you saw in that lab. Sort of born. Just a different biological process or whatever. But what I'm saying is the medium is secondary. That sentient part there, the soul, the mind, the character, the spirit of that person, well, it just happens to reside on a computer chip instead of a brain. You know, other than that, it's a person. So, and that's the Fallout universe. And so that being a given, then I go from there, and it makes a lot of these decisions a whole lot easier. And it also allows me to immerse myself in the game even more, which is always a bonus with any RPG. Anything that can get you into the world and thinking along the lines of the lore, so that you can appreciate, you know, the story as it's written and stuff, and the dynamics of, you know, the decisions you have to make and stuff. And that's how that really adds to it. Anyway, so with that in mind, the Railroad is really the only, you know, I can say that they don't really have an ideology that I don't agree with. First of all, they don't take the hard line so that they can stand up on their soapbox and stretch their arms out real wide with their big store-bought cape flapping in the wind behind them, saying, I am trying to save the world. I am a martyr, I am, because the world is coming against me because of my goodness. They're not doing all that bullshit. What they're doing is they, oh, look at this. That's a safe house symbol. Does that mean this is a safe bed to sleep in? That's what I'm guessing. If you sleep here, you won't get bothered. Okay, well, you can say that. I bet you this doe would have come up and tried to hoof me in the face. Yeah, I've learned my lessons with those things. They're no peaceful creatures. No. What they'll do is they'll ambush you. They'll wait for you to turn your back. They'll come up and paw you in your back and run off. Bastards. Anyway, all right. What their line is, from what I see, is basically they've got their job to do and they want to do it well. They're not going to try to do a little of everything to save everybody. That's not even realistic. It's not for any one person or even any one group to do that. Is what they do is they try to help the synths, and I love the way Desdemona says it. We're here to help escape synths. That's what we do, right? Okay, well, you should do this. Well, how about you go do that while we do this? In other words, she's not saying don't go do other good things. She's saying this is the good thing we do. If you feel there's other good things to do, then maybe it's on you, instead of passing the buck on to the next guy, to get up off your friggin' ass and go do it yourself. You go do that good thing. Well, you should be worrying about these people over here. How about you go do that, and you go put as much effort into your new group that does that as I put into my group that does this. I totally agree with that. If she's going to do that one thing well, and they do the best they can with what they have to work with. The whole world weren't against them, trying to keep them from doing their one good thing, which says a lot about the world, right? And the people in it. Hey, and that, yes, that applies to the world we live in today. If it weren't for that, she'd be doing all right. But no, you have factors like the Institute and everything else working against them, not to mention raiders and anything else that like to prey on anybody, synth or not, right? But she's all about that, and she also will say, and if we can help others along the way, all the better. That's icing on the cake. That's a bonus. No, I'm totally down with that. You know, I'll tell you what. If you found all the things that the world tries to destroy, all the innocent things that the world tries to destroy, and you had a group set aside, dedicated, wonder why that's showing up red. We're not enemies yet, are we? I say yet. In italics, yet. What's that? The scribe. Brotherhood? Oh, let me shut up for a second.
Good day to you, stranger. You look like someone that appreciates the utility of a good set of armor.
You just wander around selling armor to random people?
Traveling's a good way to meet new people, as well as finding the lost, the broken, and the unusual. When I get tired of traveling, I settle down again for a while. But I'm in a wandering phase at the moment. So, were you interested in trading or not?
Sure. I'm always looking for good armor.
My selection is a bit limited right now, but take a look.
Okay. Don't see anything really special here. Wonder if you go farther along with the Brotherhood. This dude looks like he's wearing a Brotherhood jumpsuit. I was wearing one of those for a while. Can recognize the thing there just below the collar. Oh, he's got some caps. You can buy some of this stuff. It's less weight to carry, right? Okay, I just had to talk to him. He's looked like a named character or something. Anyway, if you can imagine a group set aside to help each individual group that needed help. If you had people who, where they had some kind of deficiency or handicap or something that made life hard, you had people to help them. If you had people who were challenged in some way where education was a problem, or just taking care of themselves through some mental or physical disability or something, you had groups to take care of them. You had those who, due to whatever economic situation, were hungry and so on. So you had groups to help them. Then you had those, you know, groups to lift. If you had a group dedicated to everything, for all the peripheral people that didn't fall into those groups, you know, all the help that they would get along the way also, like Desdemona said. Oh, hold on.
I know someone of your profession values discretion above all else. But I have to honestly say, Screw that. I mean, come on. One bullet, halfway across town, and you blew Ron Treviot's head clean off. You, sir, are an artist. Are all the assassins from Russia as good as you? I seriously doubt it. But listen, your secret's safe with me. Eddie Winter, signing off.
Okay, so is that a reference? Maybe there's a sniper rifle somewhere in another evidence locker or something? Sorry, I'm always thinking about loot. Anyway, all right, so if you imagine... Okay, go back, sorry. We still got another holotape to listen to. That one says it's over, basically. If you had a group to help all the people that needed help, like Desdemona said, we help the synths and anyone else that we can help along the way. That's just kind of a bonus, right? That's just extra. It's all just more good. Well, if you had a lot of groups like that running around, and then you had all the peripheral people getting helped along the way too, things would be all right. Now, I'm going to present this, right? And I'm going to state this, and well, it's an unpleasant fact to face, but I can't see any way around it. It's the elephant in the middle of the room that nobody wants to acknowledge, because then you know what? Everyone has to be responsible. You have to actually be accountable, and no one ever wants that. Not in this day and age. No one wants to be accountable for anything. What we want to do is promote the problem as being the solution, and when things get worse, blame the people who told you what the solution was, but the solution was uncomfortable, so you didn't want to hear it. That's what we live in today, right? But bottom line is, if you have whether it be an individual or a group making things better, right? What is really if you had people dedicated to that, what is the one thing, the one absolute sole individual factor that can ruin that? Whether it be a group, whether it be an organization, whether it be a ministry, whether it be a charity, it doesn't matter. Whether it be a government, whether it be a court system, legal system, whether it be an economic system, global, local, doesn't matter. Anything made up of people that is doing a good thing, what is the one single, lone, isolated factor which can ruin that? It's the only thing which can destroy it. And my answer to that, and I do not see anything around this. It's one of those like irrefutable things, I think, is human nature. It's a person getting in there, and whether it be someone comes in and gets jealous, someone comes in and gets greedy, someone comes in and has a twisted, perverted sense of morals, justice, standards, definition of social issues, or whatever. All right, human error will always be the one thing that drags it down. As if the world wasn't already busy enough constantly at force against you, trying to kill you. Right? You have to eat or you starve. Right? You have to drink or you get dehydrated. You have to basically you have to work or you don't eat. You're constantly working against that force that is working against you to either starve you to death, get you sick and kill you, or whatever. So we have medicine, we have food, we have if you're lonely and miserable and falling into despair and feeling anxious and even suicidal, we have things like relationships. You have to strive to get relationships, and then once you've got them, you have to strive to maintain them. In other words, the struggle is real, right? Pertaining to everything, the struggle is real. Against that force that is always working to, well, go ahead and get you out of the way to make room for someone else, right? This world is a constant revolving door of people coming through it. Get in there one shot at life, and then they move on. Whatever. Well, according to some religions, you get plenty of shots at it. I don't know. I'm not even going to argue all that. But just bottom line is that's that one thing against you. And as if that wasn't bad enough, then you have people. And so if you are trying to do something right, what is the one thing that always turns it wrong? Even if they think their motives. Oh my God, what'd I do? I woke up the zombie apocalypse? Holy crap. Okay, all right. 50 ghouls. Okay. Don't walk by graveyards unaware in Fallout 4. As if I shouldn't have known that already. I certainly know it now. And so anyway, give that some serious thought. And then, you know what? That really includes everybody. Because see, Then say, well, that's really pessimistic. That's really a downside. Man, it sucks that it's true, right? Okay. But on the flip side of that exact same coin, with human nature and the fact that it's really completely flawed, it really is. I mean, human nature. Remember, this is an actual truth. Mankind destroys everything it touches. We destroy everything we touch. Our best motives destroy everything we touch. Even some of these people in the Institute think they're doing the right thing. How fucked up is that? Right? I mean, just take that for example. I'm using the game as an example, but this brings up all kinds of real life stuff. They don't just pull this shit out of a, they don't pull a rabbit out of a hat. They take this from real world principles and things to think about. We ruin everything. Let us touch nature. There are places in first world countries where you can't drink the water, for example, because, well, it's because of, it doesn't matter. Anything that comes after the word because is just a reason. It's just an excuse. The bottom line is it is, and there's no refuting that. All right? Thinking that you should be able to drink public water in certain areas. Go ahead and keep thinking that. When you drink it, you die. And then you're going to say, because this. It doesn't matter. You're still dead. It is what it is. Bottom line is we destroy everything we touch, whether it's nature, whether it's an economy, whether it's a government, whether it's a society, whether it's morals, whether it's values, religion, all right? That's not even safe, all right? We do the worst things with that, all right? So, you know, what is it? War never changes? There's a reason, because human nature doesn't change. And it's the cause of that, all right? So anyway, just throwing that all out there. That's really relevant. I mean, it matters, you know? And these are the types of issues that I like this brings up. Anyway, I think Legendary Raider. When I see that, I don't know about you guys, when I see that word legendary, I think about, give me your stuff. Well, it's nice to see you're a Legendary Raider. I sure like that gun you got there. Give me that chest piece. But so Desdemona, I would have to say the ideals. This is where I'm going with this, at least in this playthrough.
Yes.
Looking at the railroad's ideals, and they're the closest to mine. Not only the most realistic, but the most
Whatever you did worked.
what's the word for it? I don't think charitable is the word I'm looking for, but they're just right. How about that? They're just right. Yeah, I can't agree with the Brotherhood. The one thing I can say about the Brotherhood is there's some I think there's some honor and integrity amongst some of their members. Even misguided, they at least hold their principles as true, right? But then you got some whack jobs in there too. You just have some assholes. Bottom line is the Brotherhood really? It's one thing is human error is always going to mess up. It's always going to get in there and spoil the broth, right? That's going to happen. That's guaranteed. But in some, it's going to happen quicker and worse than others. Is when you leave the door wide open for that. And the Brotherhood, they're under this misguided thing as thinking that by wearing this Brotherhood armor and taking some oath and a bunch of words and a bunch of things, you can come up with all the rituals and secret handshakes and things and rites and stuff that you have to perform. You can do all this stuff, right? But it doesn't make you anything different than what you are. Bottom line is an asshole can do these things too. If you're an asshole at heart, I don't care what armor you're wearing, I don't care what flag you're flying, I don't care what you got or what you've done or whatever.
Come on out.
I don't care what you're part of, okay, you're still an asshole. And so when you let these people in there, bottom line is the Brotherhood thinks running around and practicing gun control is somehow going to solve something. First of all, you're never going to get all the tech, period. And I'll just point this out. Okay, in a gunfight, a laser rifle may be effective. Equally so, in a dark basement against an unarmed person, a hammer is a hell of a technological item. That shit is almost as good as a plasma rifle. If you got a hammer and the other guy doesn't, and you're in unarmed combat and you're fighting for your life, okay, that becomes a technological wonder, okay, or just a stick, right? It's all that caveman had way back then. The guy with the stick and the guy that didn't. Guy with the stick made the rules, right? Well, I don't like that. I don't think it should be. Doesn't make. It still was. Your feelings didn't matter. No one asked what you thought about that. That's the way that it is, right? In other words, the real world, as opposed from the world we like to live in today, where everyone sees unicorns farting kittens, shitting pixie dust, and all that, riding over rainbows and all that. We're in the real world. Okay, that's not the real world. Real world's actually happening around them, and they stay oblivious to it.
Approach and
Just doing things like watching the news. And talking about it as if it's a real thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Oh wow.
Now where'd they get to?
Projecton didn't appreciate me shooting that turret, huh?
You held your own there, Blue.
Damn, I hope that thing doesn't explode. Please don't explode, Mr. Robot. And give me your stuff. Right on.
Shit's got ambush all over it.
Okay, so what's this? Railroad agents. Oh no. Got decimated. Friggin' decimated, man. By the raiders?
Oh man, please don't be ferals again.
Not a real secure safe house, anyway. But, I mean, I guess, no, beggars can't be choosers, as they say. Take what you can get. I don't know.
Hey, who's there?
I think I picked a slight man. What, they got thrown in the fire, too? Damn, got fed the fire. Well, I guess we know what happened to the safe house. Oh, there's a synth. Oh!
What the?
Okay, I think I'm getting it. All right. The Institute came in here, wiped out the safe house, and raiders moved in to the empty space, like they do. Oh, no one's living here? Well, if someone was living here, they'd take it anyway. But since no one's living here, it made it easier, I guess. Let's see if there's anything worth having here. Oh, nice to get those off my back. Undamaged camera. Okay. Really, if it's not a book or a possible, like, you know, maybe a cool item, like a weapon or something, I'm not gonna spend my tokens on salvage. I'm getting plenty of salvage. I live for salvage. I can spend my tokens on it. All right. So anyway, just don't know. That's, I don't know. For anyone that's new here to this channel, by the way, assuming you're still here with us, I know this is these are kind of long ones, and it's kind of hard to break these up. Actually, I just like to at least get a mission or two under our belt each time we head out, so I don't waste your time here. But try to talk about a lot of these things. I'll express my opinion, but I try to also buffer that with observations and throwing both sides of the coin in there where I can. Sometimes there are things that are true, even things that apply to me that I don't like. But man, Morgan, I believe, if you can't learn anything from video games, well, you actually can. You really can. Because they're written by people, and you can always learn things from people. Not always good things, but you can always learn something from people. And whoever writes the character, whoever did the writing for this particular, some of the lines in some of these games, Morrigan in Dragon Age, I think it was in Origins, she says something, I think it was to Alistair. I think she was poking fun at him, but she still said something true. Not liking something doesn't make it not so. And that was so profound. I use that all the time now. Because it's a truth that speaks the truth in and of itself. That is a truth that I don't like to hear because it's true, right? So it kind of defines itself as you hear it. Not liking something doesn't make it not so. Wow. Okay. I don't even like that that's a fact, but it doesn't make it not so because it's actually true. Anyway, so it's kind of a, what do you call it, a double entendre there or something? Anyway, I think that's kind of cool. Sitting here tripping on the fact that this railroad just got wiped out here. I don't know, did I talk about this a minute ago? One point I'd like to make, I think I did. All right, so we see here what happened here at the safe house. This went dark at the same time as the switchboard, and apparently, although we haven't gone to them yet, I believe we'll be getting sent to them as the other safe houses. They all got attacked at essentially the same time, so this was like a blitzkrieg effort, right? You notice the reference there, you know, the whole Institute and their Aryan Nazi thing going on. Anyway, I see that they really did make an attempt to destroy the Institute, but Sean / father / whatever that abomination is, he like conveniently failed to mention that that they had basically tried and failed to destroy the railroad, because that might hint at him possibly using us as a tool to do that. That's why I think he is, and that's why I think that's what's going to happen. I think I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Just anyway, if so, I'm bringing that back up. Is showing that the devastation here at this safe house. I imagine we're going to find this probably more than once. Hopefully, we'll find one that's not dark, but they think it is. We'll at least find a survivor or two, or something, and then we'll have to question whether those survivors are actually legitimate, or plants, or substitutes, replacement synth spies by the Institute, or worst part about it is you have to wonder. You're still left wondering whether what, you can take something at face value. It's, man, kind of messed up, isn't it? Anyway, so anyone that's new to this channel, that's what we try to go with here. The whole really point being was, hey, I love RPGs. This is a big reason why, is it brings all this. It allows the mind to wonder. You can not only get immersed in these things, but I see being able to actually learn things from them, and just it's just all part of the game. It's a game bigger than just walking into a map and just going and shooting everything, resetting and starting over, or just running from left to right and jumping over shit and trying to collect tokens and eat mushrooms. We're talking about playing out the role of a character, a person, and living at least some small portion of their life or their entire life, as in like the Fallout games, the Elder Scrolls games. It's kind of a different thing, but you live out this epic period of time, which would eventually become history, right? In the Elder Scrolls, and you become part of actually what's written in the Elder Scrolls. Very cool. But anyway, just RPGs in general just have that dynamic that allow you to get into them more, and they're so much more rewarding. Just think that other games cost $60 too. Hell, if that's the case, the other games that cost $60, then I must be getting $1,000 worth out of my RPGs, because some of these can just be played so much, and you can get so much out of them, above and beyond just oh hey, look, I shot that dude in his face. I mean, there's more to it than that, And so I try to point at that and highlight that, and if the only way I can do it is to just share what I'm seeing and what I'm getting out of it, and just try to present like a new way to possibly appreciate it. Not that y'all don't know that, but the whole thing is to encourage really diving off into and digging into the games, and getting more out of it than just pushing your joystick in one direction and pushing a button. It's more than that, more than just pulling triggers. There's stuff to explore here. There's things to experience, and it's I don't know. It's like it's a whole different animal. Damn, just die, dude.
Only a fucking coward hides.
While he's hiding. Oh, I see him. Well, hide from that. Look at this. Man, they've got a whole colony built here. Okay, was this the Institute? Or was this the Raiders doing? Wonder who built this here, because this is pretty cool.
Show your face.
Man, I wouldn't mind this little thing for like a settlement type thing. I guess I really can't knock the Institute for this. Hell, I'd want to hang out here too. It'd be treacherous as hell. I'd probably get myself killed just trying to get up and go to the bathroom, but still, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I can just see waking up at 2 in the morning trying to go take a piss and falling to your death from one of like 50 different places.
When you turn up, you're dead.
Okay, tricky part here is try to find it. You'd think in a place like this you'd find one of those medicine books or something.
That's it.
I haven't seen any learning magazines, but usually in named locations like this, especially big explorable buildings, there'll be a skill book of some sort. I'm still looking for what is it, LaCoif? I think they're called,
Should be.
where you learn new hairstyles. I haven't seen a single one of those, and I haven't heard anyone else mention having found one of those. I'm wondering if they're a DLC thing or something. Something. I don't know. If there's anything over there. Okay, well there's my...
What was that?
There's my quest marker
I
there.
swear I must be going crazy.
So how many raiders they got here, man? I mean, damn. Alright, guess we work from top to bottom, maybe? I need to start picking up anything made of wood, too. So I pretty much have been. That's been kind of a running theme for all my building and stuff has been wood. Seems to be the one thing I run out of before anything else. At most of my settlements. Some just had a lot of it. Sanctuary had a ton of it. There's more trees and stuff growing around there. And all the white picket fences and stuff, I pulled up most of those. There was, in fact, that wood not only built everything at Sanctuary, but built a lot of stuff at one or two of my other settlements too. Once I set up supply lines, yeah, that was a bunch of wood in there. And I think I've even run through all that. So definitely the one thing I'm short of more than anything else. Oh, it's a good thing I looked there. Damn, nice. That's the dog I shot, right? Sorry to have to do that, buddy, but you were going to attack me if I didn't want any way around that. I see a medicine box over there. Alright, I see that as a personal challenge. They put that there for a reason, bastards. You can't touch me! Oh yeah? That's dirty. Another raider? Are you serious?
Get a grip on yourself. Someone there?
Oh shit. Bad jump. Probably don't want to fall down there. At least not right now. I'll never figure out where I've been and haven't been yet. Alright, have I been in here?
Shit's got ambush all over it.
Okay, hopefully that's it for the raiders. Nice. Another turret.
Sweet.
I'm trying to see everything. I probably missed half this stuff wandering around here, but whatever.
Who's there?
Blue, we're not alone here.
Oh, nice. Legendary.
Time to reel him in.
Normal for others.
Squishy, squishy.
There we go.
25% less action points, huh? Speaking of snipers, I'm gonna switch out. Sniper I've had, the recoil is a little out of control. It's not making maybe the whole lot of difference, but I like to at least keep what's in front of me while I'm scoped in. Damn. Squishy, squishy. But with this sniper, when I shoot somebody, next thing you know, I'm looking at the sky. My shit's pointing straight up. This gun has some kick on it. When I say it has some kick, I mean it's like, yeah. Enough of that. Give me all that. Good deal. Okay, yeah, I haven't been over here yet. Good deal. Yeah, you'd expect to
there's a
see, like,
classic.
maybe a skill magazine here or something, right? Place like this. If I don't find something like that, I feel like I've left the place missing something. But that's cool. Something to find in future playthroughs or something, I guess. Guess I need to accept the fact that I'm not gonna find every single thing in the game in one playthrough. Okay, all right. Not for lack of trying, though. All right. Well, I think we know what happened here. Synths ran the place over, and it's no longer our safe house. I guess it could be again, but the Institute not only knows about it, but they got in once, they can do it again, too. You don't devote all your manpower to guarding one safe house. The whole point of the safe house is for it to be off the radar, not some impenetrable fort on the radar. That's not the idea. That's not reasonable. You might have one place like that, but you can't have a bunch of places like that. They just don't have the resources to do it, so... I've seen cabinets tilted over in front of doors like that a couple times, and I'm wondering if there's some way to knock the cabinet out of the way or something. You know? Something, I don't know. Maybe a certain kind of explosive. Mini nuke it or something, I don't know. I hadn't tried it, I guess I should. Instead of asking about it, just go ahead and try it. But, wait. No traps? Well, plungers give you wood. Seriously, I'm thinking, what gives me wood? Apparently I'm looking for ceramic too, because I have this habit of picking up coffee cups and ashtrays too. That's about all they give you. I guess it comes in handy for several things. Alright, I hear something. Oh shit. Turn off. I didn't want to look at my Pip-Boy. I want to turn off my light. Turn off. Well, there we go.
Bad idea.
I busted him in his bitch face with that, didn't I? What a closed-in room. Friggin' death claw. Take that. Big old bitch. Want some more of that? Oh, the raiders were feeding the railroad agents to the death claw? Or at least feeding the bodies to the death claw, so the death claw would stay down here and leave them alone. Oh, making a game out of it? So who exactly took care of the agents? Is it possible the agents fought off the synths, but then the raiders came and finished them off instead? Is it possible that the Institute also employs raiders? Or drops little hints to raiders? We already know they can infiltrate the raiders because we just captured a synth that was a raider. So is Sean not even above that? You see what I'm getting at? Like, it's possible instead of sending in a bunch of synths, if you just want a safe house cleaned out but you don't have the manpower for it, go find somebody that'll take it out for themselves. Hey, I know where there's a great loot stash over here. You can just go ahead and send a synth posing as a raider. Man, there's a loot stash over here. Me and my crew tried to get in there, but we couldn't get in there, man. Y'all might want to go check it out. Bunch of dudes holed up in there with a bunch of guns and chems and blah, 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 and the raiders come check it out. Find that what's left of it after the synths. Like I say, these safe houses rely on being off the map, not withstanding a full frontal attack. So the raiders came in and finished them off, and then start... this is all possible. I don't know if I'm looking too far into it, or whatever, but it's kind of fun to imagine what kind of devious shit Sean could come up with. I don't put anything past him. I see how the railroad operates. Alright, let's see, where does this go? Is it that fusion core we just took out? Do we need to put it back? Or something? Looks like it goes to that box right there. Oh! Haha! Look at that. Yeah. Even a blind dog looks up and finds a bone every once in a while. I get lucky. It's nice when luck makes you look smart, even when you're not. Alright, highly irradiated hallway with the good stuff. Oh man, where's my learning magazine? Oh man, that would have been the place for a skill book right there. Oh, I'll take all this though. Yeah, you can give me all that. Nice. Well, I'm just getting my ass rated. Damn, with the Rad-X, I'm still catching 5 and 6 rads. This is a hardcore right here. Okay, gotta give some stuff to Piper. Alright, so I guess we go report back to Railroad. Let them know that we've lost this one. I hope this isn't the case with every single safe house that they have us go check on. I think we're supposed to go check on all the safe houses that went dark when the switchboard was attacked. I believe that's the gist of it. And
Heads up.
Where to? Don't mind
you know,
the clutter.
if they're dark, if they're not in communication at all, it's for a reason, you know. So I'm guessing that it's not going to end well. Except for one, but when we reported to Desdemona, it said, well, it's still operational. It said, well, we need to keep an eye on them. And I'm wondering who she's even talking about. This one's Augusta. I forget what the name of it was. I think it began with an A, too.
What I wouldn't give for the
No, really? I hate shooting things up close to me. I wind up killing myself. Alright, that's it. Enough this blood bug bullshit. Where you at, mosquito? I got you. Come on out, punk. Flappy wings. You weren't hiding a minute ago.
Hey,
See up there?
they're here.
Damn. Took a shotty to the face. Okay. Holler at you. Alright, let's go report in. Give them the bad news. Yeah, I'm gonna look into a few of these, actually.
Randolph Safe House has got another dead drop for you.
Oh, it didn't begin with an A. It was Randolph. The first time. It said that we had that Desdemona has us keeping our... Oh, okay, well, doesn't matter. We'll go do that next. We'll go do that next. First, let me level up. Oh, look at all these skill points I've got. I haven't leveled up in a while. Then we'll go some toughness. So we finish that off. Yeah, I guess we're done with that. I guess we could finish this off, too. Cool. Alright, so I think those are complete. Commando and rifleman. That's sniping and automatic weapons.
Your signal interceptor actually worked. I really don't know what to say.
Augusta safe house was destroyed by the Institute.
It's as I feared. 3 safe houses gone. Hard to imagine. I have nothing further for you at the moment. I'm sure someone else could use your help. No shortage of fires to be put out.
Well, we can put up another Mila too, but I'd like to go check on that Randolph safe house, follow that out. That looks like a quest line, and the rewards have been awesome. All right, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, listening to me blab. If you want to subscribe, if you haven't already, that'd be cool. Click that button up top, and if you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play up to this point, you can click that image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.